In the realm of endless journeys and boundless discoveries, welcome to Extra Miles TV. Here we navigate through the vast expanse of knowledge, unveiling the unknown, diving into the depths of history, scaling the heights of science, and meandering through the intricate lanes of culture. We unearth treasures for the curious mind. With every tick of the clock, we bring you a fresh dose of enlightening content, crafted to fuel your intellect and spark your imagination. So buckle up as we set off on this endless expedition of learning. You're now tuned into Extra Miles TV, your passport to the world of wisdom. Remember, the journey never ends. It's exciting. Welcome aboard.
Extra Miles TV. Extra Miles TV.
This was an extraordinary session of the Executive Council, and it was called by the Assembly of Heads of State. Last time we were here at the February summit, and it became very critical because the issue of the future of the African Union was at stake in the context of the forthcoming elections of the African Union Commission leadership in February next year. When we were here for the summit, the Heads of State summit, there were legal and technical issues that required urgent clarification so that the process of transiting from the leadership of the African Union Commission today to the next leadership through the proper electoral process can be done smoothly. So this session was very important, and that is why we came, and we were now receiving the report from the PRC with specific asks for decision making. This was a very important session, and I'm happy to report that there was unanimous acceptance and adoption of the recommendations of the PRC. This was critical because it affirmed the position that had been taken earlier by the Assembly of Heads of State, that in order to bring more equity and diversity within the African Union, the rotational principle becomes very, very important. And therefore the decision that was taken was that in accordance with the alphabetical order, the East African region will now have the opportunity to offer its candidate for the chair of the African Union Commission. And the Northern region shall have the opportunity to offer its candidate for the deputy chair. This is very significant, and the other regions shall now have an opportunity to offer leadership for the other 6 commission positions. The decisions were unanimous, yes, which was a very, very significant step away from where we started. You know, we had started with a fairly broad division last time we were here, but the conversations by the PRC and by the Executive Council of Ministers has brought us much closer together. And I can say that it was literally 100% decision, but unanimous is good enough. Well, I think the way we proceed from here is that, first of all, as Kenya and as a member of the East African region in that context, we actually want to appreciate and thank our brothers and sisters in the African continent for making it clear, removing all ambiguities, that it is the turn of East Africa to provide leadership or to offer leadership in the African Union. So that is a very important statement, and equally for the deputy in the northern region. What it means for us in the East African region is that effectively all technical and legal hurdles have now been removed, and Kenya can now formally submit the candidate for the region, and really I don't have to mince my words anymore. Nothing should really bar, and nothing bars the opportunity for Raila to become the candidate for the region, and God willing, the chair of the African Union Commission. First of all, Raila is a very experienced public officer. Raila has been Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya. Raila has got strong Pan-African credentials. Raila has seen both hot and cold, if I may use such terminology. And he has shown the capacity to bring people together and to reconcile, even under difficult circumstances. And looking at the kind of challenges we are facing on the African continent, issues around conflict, food insecurity, the need to foster greater integration and enhance economic activity along in the African continent. We see him, in him, an opportunity for the African Union and Africa as a whole to be able to work to advance our objectives much more as we go forward. The roadmap from here to February is it's going to be very busy. Let me put it that way. First of all, there's the formal process where all the paperwork is submitted. And then we shall not waste any more time. We will want to work within the region, lobby all the countries in the region, and then extend our unified position to the rest of the African continent. And this is going to be really presenting the credentials of our candidate and what Kenya can also offer through the candidate. And as you know, we have also seen a very robust engagement from the President of Kenya, President William Ruto, on issues around climate change, on issues of reforming the international financial architecture, on issues of consolidating and improving Africa's footprint in the global space. So we see this as an opportunity where the synergy can be consolidated. And indeed, the African heads, when they were here in February, also nominated President William Ruto to take up Kagame's mantle in furthering the reform process within the African Union. So we believe there's a strong synergy, and we are offering Africa a very credible candidate. One of the things is that we will need to be very coherent. And I think before I maybe conclude my remarks, it is important that I acknowledge the role played by the ambassador here, Orina, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs team, that all worked to make sure that we have arrived where we are. These men and women, both here in Addis and in Nairobi, have been actually burning the midnight oil to make sure that we have logical, well-reasoned arguments anchored in law on the challenges that we believe have been now resolved by the Executive Council of the Ministers. So as we go forward, that unity of purpose, that teamwork, and also bearing in mind that we'll need to work with our brothers and sisters in the other countries as well, will be absolutely essential going forward, not just for the election, but indeed for the well-being of the African Union as a whole.